My name is Adam Andrzejewski, and I'm the CEO and founder of OpenTheBooks.com. And you know our mission at OpenTheBooks.com is to put every dime online in real time. So last year, our auditors filed 47,000 Freedom of Information Act requests on nearly every single substantial government unit in this entire country. That's at the federal, state, and local level. We captured $12 trillion in government spending. I encourage you to go to our website, OpenTheBooks.com, and look up your K through 12 school district employees, for example. You can see who by name makes how much money, even in your own backyard, your city, your township, your county, your school district, all across the country. I want to get right to our segment this week on the ripoff of the week. Every single day at Real Clear Policy, we publish a Waste of the Day column. Just 3 of those columns this week, I'm going to quickly walk you through our findings from our auditors at OpenTheBooks.com. So here's the first topic. U.S. Senator Joni Ernst identified that the U.S. Treasury Department had opened up the federal taxpayer spigot of funding dollars back into Afghanistan. They're issuing licenses, about 6 or 7 licenses that then reopen the spigot of U.S. taxpayer funding into Afghanistan. Now, you know, just from August, the hasty withdrawal in Afghanistan. It was estimated that over a 20-year period since 2001, we put $83 billion worth of U.S. military gear and training into the Afghan security forces and the Afghan National Army. Obviously, it didn't make a difference. The Taliban overran the country within months, even while we were still there and preparing our hasty leave. Brown University estimated that we put in $2 trillion over the course of 20 years into Afghanistan with absolutely nothing to show for it. Zero. We spent $10 billion, for example, on an anti-narcotics campaign in Afghanistan over a 20-year period. And even the UN said Afghanistan was a narcotics capital, and there was no measurable performance output to our $10 billion spent to try to stop their poppy trade. Afghanistan has always been a black hole with little transparency and little accountability, and to open up taxpayer dollars then, there when the Taliban's in control, is absolutely laughable. Here's the second thing that I want to talk, waste example that we published at Real Clear this week. The Biden administration, they want to control the internet. It's not enough to censor folks with big tech. They actually want to own the access points to the internet. They want to become your Comcast, your AT&T, your internet service provider. It's called a government-owned network for the internet, and they want you on their network. Okay, so, in the quote-unquote bipartisan infrastructure bill that passed last fall, $42 billion. And you heard it here on the Waste of the Week. We did a segment on it. $42 billion was earmarked for government ownership of the new internet. The number 2 most highly compensated White House staffer, and yes, there's 560 of them, is the broadband czar within the Biden White House. They're serious about ownership of the internet and putting you on their government-owned network. That won't work out well for you. It hasn't worked out well for the residents in Fort Collins. There's a local activist there. She never let up. She called it a bad idea from the beginning when the city of Fort Collins, Colorado, wanted to do a government-owned network and put her on a government-owned internet. She said you're going to lose money and taxpayers will be stuck with the bill. And sure enough, here's what happened. The government bureaucrats running the government-owned network, trying to build out the infrastructure, they underestimated the cost of it, and they overestimated, of course, the revenues. Nobody wants to buy internet from the government and be on their plan. So the whole plan in Fort Collins is up by an estimated $45 million. It's upside down. Kudos to the local activist. All right, so I want to walk you through one more example this week that we published at Real Clear on the Waste of the Day. And that, of course, is COVID aid. And this was the payments, the $1,400 payments that was rushed through Congress on COVID aid to individuals across the country. This was in March of 2020. Fear was at an all-time high. Congress rushed this big $2 trillion bill. They were going to give $1,400 payments to people. And U.S. Senator Tom Cotton offered an amendment on the floor. He says, we need to exclude felons. or we're going to be paying murderers $1,400 checks. And it was voted down. His amendment was voted down. Congress was on notice that they're in their rush to provide checks to everyone. They were going to provide checks to murderers, even folks on death row. And that's exactly what happened. So this week, in our Waste of the Day column, we showcased the Boston bomber. Yeah, he got $1,400 out of the CARES Act. Absolutely incredible. Since our inception at openthebooks.com, we've raised one question. What government unit is running well? And I can tell you, after about 8 years of investigations, we've never, not one single time, found government at any level, local, state, or federal, running well. We'll see you back here for next week, our Waste of the Week. Thank you for joining us here today.